Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is not my real voice. Welcome into the stream. Speaking about real voices, let me do a quick audio check. See, this is not my real voice. No, we sound like we're good. We sound like we're good. Nice. Pirates, you beautiful man. Thank you very much for the host. Welcome in. Welcome in. I can see there's a few people in already this morning. Iceman with a very, very good logic bomb that I'd never even thought of, but now you've said it, that's going to be stuck in my head forever. Right at the end of our countdown video, there is a clip from me and Bibby playing co-op my club last year, and Bibby scoring an absolute screamer with Cafu. And Iceman's comment says, when Cafu turns you into Tom from Tom and Jerry, it absolutely sounds like that. When we scream, it sounds like when Tom goes, woo, kind of like, but really high-pitched kind of stuff. So yeah, nice. Anyway, welcome in, Kulan. Thank you very much for being here and for being a lurker as well. Although the command didn't work, so you have reminded me that chatbot needs to be fired up with that. So thank you very much. Welcome in. Gargad says, good morning, gents. I'll read. How are we all doing? Do you have a good weekend? What about you, Bib? Good Valentine's weekend?
Yes. We did a lot of adult things. Not like that, you dirty boy. We had new windows put in. I have did pressure wash the back garden. I have insulated the doors to stop the drafts from coming through with excluders. So yeah, it's been quite an adult weekend for once. What about you?
My stream looked like it was dropping frames, but it looks like we're good now. Nice. Yeah, there we go. We're back. Okay, sweet. Kind of same. We had Valentine's Steaks. We watched Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist. Gutted because didn't realise. Basically, I just told Bibby this before we went live. Me and Danielle were looking for a film to watch, something cheesy and easy watch on Saturday night. So we watched Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist. Didn't realise it was a TV series that had been turned into a film. Well, a web series, I think it was, that had been turned into a film. So it was 2.5 hours long, and it was basically season 1. So we got right up to the point where Ryu, if you can pronounce it like the dude in Street Fighter. I can't even say words that way. But anyway, these guys have just become absolute warriors now. They're about to fight, and then it finished. And then I did some looking. There isn't a season 2 or or an Assassin's Fist 2, but there is Street Fighter Resurrection or Resistance or something like that, which was a 4-part web series that you can't get in the UK. So nice. I'm dying. So yeah, did that. Watched Terminator 2 last night. So nice romantic Valentine's weekend. Street Fighter and Terminator. Yeah. Yes. This is why Danielle's the best woman in the world.
Terminator amazing.
It's quite film. We watched Terminator 1 last week. Watched Terminator 2. So we're now going to watch through 3 to 6. Even though there's nowhere near as good now. They all just drop off after 2. But give them a watch anyway. Good morning, Vern. You can get out. You're not welcome around these parts anymore. Honestly. For those of you who don't know, by the way, Vern is hosting a PEZ community tournament this Sunday. Is it 7 p.m? It is 7 p.m, right? Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? I may be wrong. Well, anyway, click on Vern's name. Actually, let me do the S-O. No. Okay, try again. The Vernimator. Oh my god! Do you know what? I'm gonna press return on this because I've absolutely butchered the cows, but hopefully it works. It worked! Hey! But yeah, go check out Vern. He did the draw for his Battle of the Cyborgs tournament last night. Basically, me and Babe will be stepping into the Cyborg arena. That is Vern's stream on Sunday, and then very quickly we'll be stepping back out again because we didn't have much. Thoughts of success going into it. Thought we'll just put on a show, but we're probably not even going to have a chance to put on a show because we are playing Fish and Ships, which is Mr. Fish and the pirate ship himself, Fish and Pirates. So yeah, we're going to go and get slapped and then leave. Nice. Should be fun though. Guaranteed 2 games, fellas. Yeah, that's it. They get 2 games. We won't even get to touch the ball. But anyway, if you're in the chat, please feel free to jump in and let us know that you are here. If you are new around these parts, then welcome in. My name is Graham. This is Bib, and we together are Ice Cream Uploads. And in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. And it's important that if you are here in the chat that you please do use your voice. We go live each and every single weekday on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads at 10 a.m. ish. Not doing too bad. We're still before 11 today. This is nice. And I'm not even supposed to be in the studio or the office today. I'm not working, so yeah, nice. It's 10:53. Anyway, we go live at 10 a.m-ish on twitch.tv/icecreamuploads. And if you are live with us in chat, please feel free to use your voice on behalf of the people watching and listening on demand. On demand, you say? Yes, well, we do turn this live stream into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So lots of other places where people can watch and listen on demand. And if you're doing that right now, then hey, how you doing? Hey. Hit like on YouTube, do it. So yeah, if you are watching and listening on demand, hi! But if you are here, please use your voice on behalf of everyone else watching and listening on demand a little bit later on. Nice, actually, let me do one shout out, seeing as I'm wearing my Insert Coin hoodie. ! Insert Coin. If you want to buy any products from Insert Coin Clothing, it probably doesn't sound as legit when I'm wearing their stuff, but literally the best merch provider in the video games industry, bar none. So if you want any Insert Coin clothing, type ! Insert Coin in the chat, and you will get a discount code. So if you want to buy anything, you save yourself some money. We don't earn from that, so we're not being paid to say that. We have got free stuff from them, but we're not being paid to say that. So yeah, check it out. Nice. Hey, you guys are seasoned veterans at Co-op nowadays, so I expect a game. No, me and Baby are seasoned veterans at Master League. Actually, we've not even played Master League this year, so we're seasoned veterans playing against the AI. Although we did have a 5-game unbeaten streak online the other day, I think about it.
Yeah. But them two are a different breed. Like, they're regional finalists. You know what I mean? So it's just going to be a case of we are going to be the Arsenal of the Premier League. We just have to beat people on the counter attack. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I'm saying that as an insult, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to say you don't want to be the Arsenal of the Premier League because we might as well just not bother. So you could have the points. It's fine. Do you know what? All I'm saying is, if Pirate wins this, then he'll finally have a win against me on the board. He's been trying to get one back since I smashed him in Chiswick a million years ago. And it keeps bringing up some other story about how he smashed me back then. But yeah, he got absolutely trounced. So it's been about 10 years-ish, Pirate, but you might finally get that victory that you've been looking for. Pirate grabs his coat. But yes, make sure you check it out. Sunday night, 7 p.m, twitch.tv/TheVernimator. The link is there in the chat. We will be streaming too, but check out Vern's stream. That's the priority. We'll just be streaming hours. I mean, we're going to be on for about 10 minutes. Vern's going to be on for a few hours, so make sure you go check that out. Nice. Nice. Okay, we will jump into some news for the day. Let me jump into the split screen first. Bibby, what are your thoughts on Google Stadia?
Mm-hmm. My thoughts on Google Stadia. In as few words as possible, we tried it. It wasn't what we expected. I don't think it's good enough. But I'm always willing to give it another go, should something happen, Graham.
Well, there you go. Something might just be happening. Let me take the nameplates down and get the... Oh, okay, I forgot. It's a Monday. I need to refresh the Chrome source. Nice. I'll get the article on screen for you guys. As this is the first news story of the day. If you have or are thinking about getting a Google Stadia, then this could be some good news for you. Vikki Blake at Eurogamer with a bit of Valentine's Day news updated on 14th February 2021. She says more than 100 games are coming to Stadia in 2021. Stadia Rock? What? I'm just reading Paul's comment. I always notice that scene, how Graham is full face camera and Bibby is a smaller screen. Sensible marketing decision that by ice cream. Evil.
I agree.
Anyway, jump back into the completely thrown me west. Back into the article. So more than 100 games are coming to Stadia in 2021, says Vikki Blake at Eurogamer. And just days after announcing it was pulling the plug, Vikki Bacon, nice. Just after days after announcing it was pulling the plug on first-party game development, a post on the community blog confirmed games like FIFA 21 and Judgment were on their way to the streaming service. It's a bit late for FIFA 21, no? Anyway, after listing a handful of releases coming to the service in the next couple of months, the Stadia team said in a blog post, these games represent just a sampling of the more than 100 games that will be added to the Stadia store for our players in 2021 to share, experience, and play with friends. Thanks, Engadget. Just 14 months after Stadia's high-profile launch, Google revised its streaming service strategy and confirmed it would close down all internal game development and begin providing its tech to third-party publishers. Quote, given our focus on building on the proven technology of Stadia, as well as deepening our business partnerships, we've decided that we will not be investing further in bringing exclusive content from our internal development team, SG&E, beyond any near-term planned games. Stadia General Manager Phil Harrison said at the time. Stadia, of course, got off to a rocky start when it launched in November 2019, amid skepticism of its subscription-based business model, missing features, and accusations of broken early promises. And while the arrival of its basic free tier last April seemed like it might improve the streaming service's fortunes, it soon faced stiff competition from Microsoft and Amazon. And before I jump off that, I'm going to kill a call with Bib and jump back in because the audio sync is a little bit out. So boop, 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 boop. Okay, nice. 100 games coming to Stadia, 14 months after it launched, and about a month after. You enjoy yourself there, babe? I can't tell. I couldn't tell if you'd frozen or not.
That's what I was trying for.
Fun times. Okay, more than 100 games coming to Stadia, 14 months after the launch, a month after they decided that they're not going to make their own games. What are your thoughts on that, babe?
Are these going to be new games? Like, if they say that, obviously, bringing FIFA over to it is a massive pull, regardless of what people say about it. Are you still laughing at that?
I may have been doing what you just did. So anyone watching this, you can tell it's Monday morning. Things are going to shit. So yeah, what we say?
FIFA is still a massive pull, regardless of whether or not it's people, obviously, in our chat or people who maybe listen to this knows that obviously we're PES fans, but in terms of FIFA itself, it's still a massive game. So bringing that over, regardless of whether or not it's now 4-5 months out since release, it's still a massive pull. There was talking about obviously Cyberpunk being one of the main pulls. Yes, it would have been had the game not. I mean, to be fair, apparently Stadia is one of the best places to play Cyberpunk because you're not playing it off your own machine. You're playing it off one of the best machines that there could ever possibly be in the world. And apparently people are having the best joy playing it over there. So having a game like that is, again, a massive pull. I would like to see the massive full games list that's meant to be coming over, because it could just be 90 indie titles and then 10 top tier games. We don't know, but I think trying to get as many top tier AAA games in as fast as they possibly can is the right way is the best way for them. That was what their entire business model was at the beginning, bringing in all these AAA games and it being the best place. You just pay your monthly sub, very much like Games Pass. But they're going to have all the publishers on board, and then you can just play them on the go, whether or not it be on your mobile phone or on your big TV. It doesn't matter. You can play these AAA games wherever you want. So trying to get these AAA titles on board now, how long after the fact? Well over a year, I think. When did it come out? Yeah, November 19. Yes, it was well over a year. It's like 14 months after the fact. So yeah, it's not had the best start, and they have tried to bring people back in or tried to get people on board. I mean, I don't know if Bacon Chin's in the chat now. I know that he ended up buying this at Stadia. I think it was £50 when he paid for it, but I don't think I did mention to him at the time that if you bought a Cyberpunk, you got this free. Like, you got Stadia for free, so you could buy Cyberpunk for 60 quid and get Stadia for free, basically. So they have tried to entice people back in to the service. Again, I don't think I think it's probably got less than 12 months on this current path. They've already stopped making first party games for it, haven't they? That's what they mentioned in this article as well, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, that was it. So 14 months ago, it launched. And then, was it last week before? Sometime in the last month, they've just announced that they will not be making their own games. So the SG&E, which is the name of their content development team, they have been pulled and have been put onto other bits, or just released, I'd imagine. And they will not be working on any games beyond their any near-term planned games. They won't be working beyond that. So they've got a few things in the pipeline that they're going to box off. Anything else, Nah, that's it. They won't be delivering anything. Which, it lets you know that they are still working on things. So they have things in the near term pipeline. They have 100 games coming in. They're building relationships with the likes of EA, bringing in arguably huge games and games that can drive traffic. Games like FIFA 21, which was mentioned. But as mentioned, it's February. FIFA is almost finished. If you're a person that plays FIFA for the content side of things, like Paul, I don't know if you're still here. Are you still here? When do you kind of see the FIFA life cycle finishing? And I don't mean that as a charged question, as in like dead game. I mean that as in like obviously the game comes out September-ish time and it's massive, and then you get kind of team of the year, team of the season sort of time. When is the sort of the natural drop off as the FIFA 22 sort of spike? When does that usually happen? Is it around April-ish?
Yeah. I can tell you now, it's already on his channel because he's been playing golf all weekend on it. But yeah, I get what you mean. Usually, like you'd probably see, like. I think April is probably when historically you'd see PES start to fall off in terms of people playing competitively. I know this is straight in the way in the chat, people are going to say, well, it's already dead, but in terms of competing like the eFootball Open or historically PES League, I think after April is when you start to see people start to look forward. That's when we usually get the news for the new games coming out and stuff. So.
Anyone that want to say PES is dead right now, I would beg to differ. The biggest esports event of the year so far, and PES is about to kick off this Sunday. Twitch.tv/The Vernimator for the Battle of the Cyborgs. That's all I'm saying. If you want to be there, you will see magic happen, and then we will start playing, and then it'll be finished. Peppiatt, good morning. He says you would use it if Resident Evil 2 mods were on it, baby.
Absolutely. I mean, I won't have to install them. I won't have to get them working. I just press a button, it'll come off a server somewhere. But yeah, I absolutely fully agree with you. Anywhere that I can play modded versions of any game, especially Resident Evil 2, is definitely one.
It's a good,
out of my street.
There's a good point hidden in there though, and it's. You can play PC level games. You mentioned Cyberpunk is possibly one of the best places that you can play it is on Stadia because you're not using your PC. You're using the supercomputer in Google's web servers sort of area. So yeah, fine, wonderful. I've got 3090 RTX graphics or above equivalent. Nice. I'll take this. But beyond that, you kind of, okay, I'm playing PC games at PC quality, but as long as I want to be mainstream, off-the-shelf video games, Cyberpunk, yes. PUBG, yes. Other games of that ilk, big ones, yes. Maybe playing big ones, yes. Easy Tiger, calm down. Maybe playing Resident Evil 2 modded, which is a PC game, which requires much, much less than Cyberpunk does. Nah, can't do that. And that's because you are literally just dialing into you're dialing into someone else's refined PC. It's like having an iPhone. Yeah. You're kind of locked down with what you can do. It's like having a PlayStation or an Xbox. You're locked down with what you can do. So you can do some PC stuff, but it's not a PC. Okay, so it's a console. Yeah, kind of. But you don't have access to all of your user base, all of your friends, all of your family, all of your history, all of your subscriptions, all of your trophies and skins and everything else that you've paid for, your DLC bits. You don't have access to that either. Some games you do. Very, very few, though, don't have cross progression and cross... some have cross-play, that's a bit more common, but cross-progression. Okay, so there's no real benefit for using Stadia instead of my console that I've already got. I've just paid 500 quid for a console that I want to be my media centre. Why would I use Stadia? So, yeah, it's good. It's good. The idea of it is good. I think Stadia has kind of... The way I phrase it on my Instagram story when I was sharing the Ice Cream Uploads post, which you can see on Instagram.com/Ice Cream Uploads, by the way. Nice. Yeah, the way I phrased it, was it too little, too late? Because 100 games is not too little. 100 games is a shitload of games. Yes, please, I would take 100 games. On top of all the other games that are there. Nice. But... like Baby said, what does that 100 mean? Because we got told that they were delivering 20 games, not Christmas gone, Christmas before. 20 games to launch the console, and then it was like, okay, another 13 games or something at Christmas. Oh, nice! And then you're thinking, let's have a look at these cool games then. And then the main one was Doom, which got delayed because Doom got delayed. So then you take that away, and it was just like, well, here's a list of naff games that you'll never want to play. It's like, great, nice. So now we've got kind of past that. 100 games adds to it, and there's probably probably going to be some good things in there. But like I said, the difficulties of it not being your console that you have set up, it's not being your PC and all that you can do with that. It's cool technology in between it, and I think Google's best bet, which obviously they're aware of, they stopped their own development, is where they are going. It's not so much about delivering themselves as a platform, it's about delivering a platform that they can pass on to others. So sell Stadia to PlayStation as their version of xCloud, or work with Microsoft to improve xCloud. I think that's the only thing they can do now, because if they don't have exclusives, why bother? Look at how good the Switch is now, and that's because you've got Luigi's Mansion 3. You've got a raft of Nintendo exclusive games on the Switch. The Wii U didn't have that. As soon as games were pulled from third parties, first party didn't really have anything that was strong enough to offer. I mean, third party is strong. It gives you the catalogue, but strong first party titles is what pulls people in, and we've seen that on consoles last generation. PlayStation arguably had the stronger first party titles. It won, air quotes, the generation. Xbox didn't. Xbox is working on that now. Stadia have just given that up entirely, so that's them out of the race. That's it. There is no race for them. They're done. What do you guys think? Do you agree? If you have a Stadia, do you regret getting one? Has it given you any value for money in that sense? I mean, 50 quid for a gaming console that gives you access to 100 games on the free version and stuff, if it works, it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal at all. I mean, if you're expecting it to be where Google positioned it, if you're expecting it to be a PS6 and an Xbox 950 or whatever fucking crap we want to throw at the Xbox, but the Xbox box, Series Box X Edition, Element Ultra Box S Xbox. If we position it like that, it's shit. But if you look at it as a 50 quid games option that gives you ability to play Stadia and stuff at the highest spec on the go, it's actually still really good in itself. But yeah, I mean, nobody's speaking up, so I'm guessing nobody's got it. which therein lies the problem. It's a nice, cool way of accessing video games, but if nobody's
what do you think that they need to do to be able to bring people back in, though? What do you think that they need to do to either bring people back in, or just invest in it for the first time?
I don't think they can, sadly now, and I think before them pulling their internal development. Stadia is the "but we've got burgers at home" version of the console when you really want a PlayStation. GG. Good morning, Luke. I don't think it can be saved. Until they pulled internal development, I thought, okay, well, it's unlikely, but they could save this. And I think the way that they would have to do this is massive expenditure awareness. So when Stadia was first announced, there was a big conference, and then there was lots of hype around it, and then it just dropped off. Their positioning was wrong. What they wanted to deliver for the product was wrong. What they actually did deliver was massively below par. It took months before it started to scale up. So for me, they would have to do almost like Stadia 2.0, kind of like when I'm speaking about PUBG, saying how it's great for me and other fans, and adding new content into it is wonderful, but you're not going to get the same cut through with lay fans as a PUBG 2. Oh, something completely new that makes the thing good. Nice. It could be just PUBG 1.5, but putting the 2 on it makes people think, oh, it's a new game. So they kind of need to have their next generation, but full on build up to it. This is it. This is coming, and then when it comes, it has to have absolutely everything. But take all that away, that's irrelevant if you've got no USP. Their one USP is that you can play games on the go, which is what xCloud gives you. Great. So your USP is being done by one of the consoles already. So yeah, I want my PlayStation. I'll take a large Xbox as well. So that's what it is. Xbox does it. It doesn't have any USP. Take away the games then, and they've got nothing for me. So if it had big games.
On the flip side of that, though, you said that they've got it's very similar to xCloud, which it is. There's absolutely no denying that. However, they have got the other aspects of you can play this on your laptop, you can play this on your PC, you can also play this on your big TV in the front room. The big TV in the front room, as far as I'm aware, unless you've got a certain TV type, there is an app that's on your TV. You can't do that with Games Pass.
No, I agree. I agree, but I don't necessarily think that's a strong enough USP. That's kind of the joy, the idea of the example that I used, and it's a lifetime ago now, because imagine travelling to places and staying in hotels. Who does that anymore? But the idea that I gave is travelling to an esports event in Portugal. We did that a couple of years ago before the world went to shit. So yeah, just rock up in your hotel in Porto, stick a dongle in your TV, and that's it. I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm playing PES, PUBG, whatever. Love the idea of that, and that's not something that you specifically get with your Xbox. You have to take the Series X with you, or you have to take, I mean, good luck taking a PS5 anyway, that's massive, but still you've got to take them with you. Just having a dongle, you can stick that in your pocket, nice. Obviously you need a controller in your bag or in your suitcase or whatever, but that is still a USP.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, even more so now, it's just not a very, when I say even more so now, I mean, it's not a very useful USP. And that's even more applicable now in terms of it's cool and it's a nice to have, but how many times do you really take your console somewhere else other than in your home? Especially now. But yeah, I probably travel, yes, with a B. Good evening. I probably travel more than most people when I'm in a normal working environment. And even still, I don't think I would have used it as much as I like the idea of it. That USP doesn't really cut the mustard. So yeah, especially, I mean, you take that away then, okay, it's a nice idea, but I need something else. Give me something more. It's like, okay, here's my super game, my Last of Us. All right, nice, you've got a Last of Us kind of game. Well, we were going to do, but we've just pulled development, so we don't. But have I told you that you can play on a dongle in a hotel room? It's like, great, okay, we're still back. Do you have other games? Yeah, we've got FIFA. Oh, nice. Okay, so I can start my FIFA on my Xbox and play it on my... No, you can't do that. Okay, so I'm putting all my money into my club on PlayStation and Xbox separately, and now I'm going to put it into... Not my club, Ultimate Team, and now I'm going to put it into Stadia's version separately. Okay, that doesn't really wash. Nice. Okay, well, at least it comes out at the same time as FIFA 21 on the consoles, doesn't it? Nope! April! Okay, fuck's sake. So...
See, I think the next step forward for this... it's something that I mentioned about Games Pass. Having a dongle, maybe it's a little bit bigger than a thumb drive, and having Games Pass on that you download games to. Obviously, it would be a license, very much like you can on PlayStation Plus. Like if you download the games and then you go offline, it has a license. It knows that when your PlayStation Plus is expired or something. It might even be Xbox actually. Might be getting that completely wrong, but they know when you've downloaded the game. So when that date expires, what's that? Where that banging?
Yeah, you got a poltergeist.
Oh, it's the Mantha. It knows when your game's expired, so therefore you can't play it anymore. But I think the streaming part of it is where it started to fall down, especially for us because the game just lagged so much. I don't know what it was. I think it's because we used it the opening couple of weeks, and then after that it just wasn't worth it. So we kind of give up on it. I mean, if we went back now and played it, it might be a little bit better, but obviously we haven't been in the office now for what feels like an absolute eternity.
To be fair, I probably could get some use out of it right now because obviously been having the sex barn constructed in the house, we've got a radiator missing downstairs, and if I plug that Stadia Chromecast in, then the heat that radiates could be well useful right now.
But yeah, I am obviously more than willing to give it another chance, but I do feel like if you was to be able to download the games, obviously it would be on a license basis, so it knows when your subscriptions run out, so that you can't play it after that. Because I think that's probably one of the main things why they don't let you do that, so that you're not just downloading a load of games, cancel your subscription, you got a load of free games, yay. It would just be at a subscription level. So if I downloaded it, I have 30 days to play it until my subscription ran out, and then I can't do it again. But downloading the games and being able to play natively rather than over the internet is obviously a massive plus, because there's no lag then, and you can play these games without having to worry about anything else. So I don't know. I think that probably would entice people to come into the model a little bit more. But again, I'm glad that I don't have to make the decisions on this.
Like Luke said, Stadia needs to be a free install with every LG TV, Pixel/Samsung, like the Netflix app is on TVs to get anywhere. Free 3-month trial, free controller, and then maybe it'll survive. Exactly. I mean, you see that there's been so many different sort of web content apps as well that have tried that and just not got anywhere because the likes of Netflix and so on have got in there and done so well. Something like Disney Plus has survived because they've had exclusive content. I mean, Disney Plus is not as good as Netflix, in my opinion. I have both. I like them both very much for their own thing. Netflix is I would say as not my. I'd say I see it as a more general broadcasting thing. I've got series, I've got documentaries, I've got films. I can watch all of that stuff there. Disney Plus, I will watch once a week when the new episode of WandaVision or The Mandalorian or a film comes out, and then that's it. It kind of gets put back on hold again. But that's the exclusive. Their USP is strong content. By the way, WandaVision, if anyone's been watching it, it's really good. And apparently the last 3 episodes are hour-long episodes I saw this morning, so it started to get spicy. Yeah, that content is what Disney gives you. Quality content. That is first-party titles. That's Disney Plus's The Last of Us. That's Disney Plus's Gears of War. Google doesn't have WandaVision. Google has FIFA 6 months later, so even if it does cut through, even if they do give out the games, and even if it is available on all the TVs and stuff, there's still not a standout enough reason for me to want to jump into there and play that specifically. But then again, if that was to happen, if Google was to put the app in all the TVs and give the consoles away and give the subscriptions on trial basis and get everyone playing it, then I imagine if they got a sudden spike of users, they'd suddenly go, shit, let's open up the SG&E departments again. That's it. We want internal development back again. We need it. But it's difficult. Without internal content, you're not going to get subscriptions. Mm-hmm. And without subscriptions, you're not going to get internal content. So you need to kind of break that somewhere. And it's so difficult, they've just kind of not. So yeah, that comes back to it. I think it could be saved. In theory, in reality, the amount of money to save Stadia would be so intense, so exhaustive that I just can't see it happening. I can see, like I say, Stadia as it should have been, not existing. Stadia as a separate bit of content, filtering into something else, maybe. It'll be like a Gaikai kind of thing. Sony will buy it, and then you'll never hear it again as it just slowly gets absorbed into other systems. That's my thoughts. Let's jump back through the chat. Looking at it now, says David. Stadia is basically a meme emulator, just with some up-to-date games. Pretty much. Yeah. Iceman, a while back actually, so I don't know the context. Says then again, so's a fucking Tesla. what was that in relation to? I can't remember. Steve Frosty, yeah, Chappers. With the 8-month Tier 1, thank you very much, Chappers. What a beautiful guy. And I know you're already in there anyway, but I'm going to use this as an opportunity to remind you guys to, if you want to, type !loot drop. One word, !loot drop. Type that into the chat, and that will give you information on if you are a sub, and that could be a paid sub or a Prime sub. You could bag yourself a prize every month. We do a giveaway for one subscriber to win a prize every month, so make sure that you've got yourselves into the loot drop if you're a sub. Thank you very much, Chappers, for the 8 months. That's almost baby level. Love you long time. Hey. Andy typed in loot drop as well. What a guy. See that making you work for your sub. Iceman saying being good at playing Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, okay. Well, there's that too. Oh yeah, I was going through the comments. That's what I was doing. I was like, what was I on with? Good thing that the podcast version of the Scoop doesn't have an audio description option. Yeah, imagine Bibby Gurns at the camera for 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Graham in response also Gurns at the camera. If you only just joined, it's not worth going back. It's fine. It's okay. Good morning to Enix as well.
Keep up the good work, fellas. You've provided a great soundtrack to this shitty lockdown period while I'm working and lurking. Ice up the EQ.
Ice up the EQ! Yes! Up the ICU, say up the ICU. Do you know what? I know that you've been really against it because you don't want chappers to have fun in life, Bib, but we should probably bring back Masters of the League sometime soon. I know it's entirely you that just doesn't want to play it and bring it back now. Do you know what? It may be back next week. It may be. I do have more, the final bits of work stuff happening, so it's probably not going to be on Monday next week, but we might have Masters of the League back next week. Maybe. Maybe.
Who knows? It'll be 2022 by the time that comes back. Solo will be 400 years old.
So, that's like 1 year for every one of the goals he scored for us. That's fine. Thank you very much for the sub, Vern. Massively appreciate it. What a guy. 2 months in a row dropping that prime. I think you're in already, Vern. But make sure you're in the loot drop. If not, you could be missing out on freebies. Which reminds me, I'm going to knock on the door of Gamers Apparel and see how they're getting on with Mr. Clark's stuff as well this morning. Eternal Lee, good morning. WandaVision is absolute fire. No, it is. It's really good. Were you like me in the first 2 episodes thinking, why am I watching this? I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked Mork and Mindy and like American sort of like married with children sitcom-y stuff a million years ago, but why am I watching this? What? But now you're like, oh, it's good. It's genuinely really good. What games are in this 100 games, and which Google employee is going to want me to pay them just to stream games at this time? Yeah, that's the thing. FIFA 21's in it. That's the only thing they've mentioned. Games like FIFA 21, unless there's a link that we can go through. Let's click to the community blog and see, because it just says there's a community blog that says games like FIFA 21. Okay, more games are coming to. Okay, what are your thoughts on this then? We have an asset that has Shantae Genie Hero Ultimate Edition, Shantae Risky's Revenge. It came from space and it ate our brains. FIFA 21. K's and the Wild Masks, Judgment, Killer Queen Black, Street Power Football. That's FIFA Street knockoff if ever you've seen it.
Oh god, awful that. Awful.
And then Hellpoint, whatever Hellpoint is. So those are the games that we can see here. Naturally, they've gone with the FIFA as the headline image, so there doesn't look to be much. So the idea that we were saying that maybe the games might be a bit naff around it, I mean, that's a bit judgmental. If you're involved in any of these games, I apologise. I don't know what Shantae Risky's Revenge is, the director's cut, or any of the other things in there, but it's 100 games with very few headliners. Let's put it that way. Not that the shit games, they could be good games. I don't know. I literally don't know anything about them. But from a headliner perspective, talking about it from the idea that Stadia needs some cut through. Obviously, they don't have their own games, so you kind of need to be hitting out the park with the games that you're working with. Beyond FIFA, there's not any headliners in there. Like I say, they could be good games. I mean, Bibby says Street Power Football isn't, but Hellpoint is one.
It isn't.
Hellpoint could be a good game. It came from space and it ate our brains. Could be a cool little, like, indie activation. I've no idea. So yeah.
People will love Man-Eater, and that looks shit as well.
Vern says, yeah, I'm there, lads. Nice. Chappers says, cheeky Masters of the League hype. You get them right. Eternally, yep, it was a super slow burner. I had to talk myself into sticking with it, but really glad I did. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Stadia then, but yeah, WandaVision. No, yeah, it's worth it. Don't play FIFA. Don't do it to yourself. This is Paul 2707 by the way in the chat with the underscore on the end. Go click on his name and follow him. He gives you all the FIFA content. Nice, as well as PGA.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
That's why he's saying it. That's why he's saying don't play FIFA so that everybody else have a he brings in all the viewership. Then do you know what I mean? Don't go and play FIFA. I'll just take all the viewership instead. But he's a golf streamer now anyway. He knows it. I know it.
Well, Paul says Street Power Football will be better than FIFA hands down.
It won't. Believe me, that game is an Android game that's been ported over to console. It looked shit. It is shit. It's a full price game as well. It's a £40 game. Don't forget.
Not anymore.
It's well, yeah. If you subscribe to Google Stadia, but yeah, do not play that game.
Eternal Lee says Judgment was really good, but I've already finished it on PS4. Half of the other games are on Games Pass already. I mean, that's it. If it's all on Game Pass or you've already played it elsewhere, then why? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Judgment is probably a good one. I mean, I didn't know if anyone had played any of them, but looking at these, just from my very stereotypical interests, I probably wouldn't be interested in the two on the left, the Shantae games. Maybe Hellpoint and maybe Judgment and FIFA and Street Fighter Football. Them are the ones that could probably get my attention. Maybe it came from Space and 8 Hour Brains if I wanted something differently. So maybe 2 or 3 games. FIFA is one of those games because I know what it is, but I'm going to get rid of that because if I'm going to play it, I'll play it on my PlayStation. So we've whittled it down to 2 games. But like you say, if they're already available on Game Pass or you've already played them elsewhere, then there's very, very little coming from that. So it's nice for people that have Stadia. It's nice for people that are in that environment and would like something different to play, but it's still not. It's a retention tool. There's no way this is a recruitment piece. That's not going to be driving large numbers of people towards Stadia, which is a shame. But it is what it is. Street Power. Oh, I've read that one. Judgment and a collection of ass games, perhaps. There you go. We get Mads doing the marketing for Stadia because that's pretty much what it was. Forza Horizon 5 map got leaked. Lel. Really? Hellpoint is terrible. One of the worst games of 2020. Oh, is it really? See, I'm going off of artwork, like screenshot, pack shot. It looked like, oh, maybe it's a spacey shootery thing. I might give it a try, but yeah, Paul says, me and FIFA are going through a rough patch. I wouldn't have guessed. Hellpoint was so fun. Loved Hellpoint, says Jordan. So Madge and Jordan are going to have a fight in the chat now. Who is right? You guys decide. Anyway, let's move ahead. Talking about games that people do like, though. Maybe not one for me. I would probably say this is more of a Bibby game than a Graham game. But, I mean, that's kind of irrelevant because it seems like it's a fucking everybody game right now. If you're a Twitch viewer or if you play games on Steam, then you may be well aware of Valheim. And it may well be Steam's biggest ever viral hit. This is written by Jonathan Boulding at PC Gamer, and it says it's now the 3rd most played game on the platform, obviously being Steam, boasting over 367,000 concurrent players today and rapidly rising. Viking survival game Valheim looks to be the fastest growing viral hit ever on Steam. I'm just going to stop there for a second. That is a huge accolade to be opening up an article with. Not accolade, but a statement. Anyway, let's jump back in. That means in just 12 days, Valheim has accomplished a player count that would put many other massive hit games to shame, compared to same genre hits like Rust, which has never reached a comparable point, or the similarly viral Battle Royale PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which took just over 3 months in 2017 to reach more than 350,000 players, later peaking at nearly 3 million. If the trend continues, Valheim could easily be the biggest all-time viral hit on Steam, having already cracked into the top 10 last weekend. It's not even driven by massive hype from big Twitch streamers, as is often the case with hits like this. Check out this chart from SteamDB, which shows steady growth in viewership that flattens out rather than kinds of massive spikes of viewership over player count that herald a wave of popularity from that kind of exposure. People are not playing. People are playing, not just watching Valheim. There we go. Absolutely butchered that paragraph, but hopefully you got what I was saying. People are playing it as well as watching it. Nice. Its large player count puts Valheim behind only Dota 2 and CS:GO in the list of most played games on Steam right now. Here on February 14th, it's a mere 12,000 players behind World of Warships for a spot in the top 10 all-time record holders for games on Steam. The only other comparable games in that list is survival and crafting RPG Terraria. That kind of growth in just 2 weeks is a stark contrast from big $60 games from publishers with huge advertising budgets, which tend to debut at huge player counts but rapidly trickle off to much more reasonable numbers. Valheim has instead started as a $20 game and rocketed into success. Even the meteoric rise of Among Us last year took a month and a half to grow from 5,000 to 370,000 players. Among Us, it should be noted, has a massive mobile audience not tracked on Steam. Iron Gate AB has clearly struck a nerve with Valheim, tapping into something that people either really want or really think they want. FOMO might explain a small jump, that's the fear of missing out for those that don't know, might explain a small jump past the 100,000 mark or so, but something about a combination of Valheim's gameplay and price have made the early access game shoot towards the stars. If you're curious about the game, then, well, they've got stuff in the article that we're not going to bother with. Nice! So, Valheim, potentially Steam's biggest ever viral hit. Whew. What are your thoughts, babe?
I can see why. It definitely is a massive big game. I just haven't got time to get into it yet. I will end up picking it up soon, though. I'll pick it up on payday because I know this is only early access, and this has, with the popularity, it's easily going to be a £50 game, if not even more. So the fact that it's now, I've just checked the price, it is £16, which it seems like an absolute steal. I think it's priced accordingly. I think the amount of people who probably wanted to give this a try, and it is a very, very affordable price, have been given the option to be able to do it, rather than this being an early access game that's £30, and then when it comes out, it's going to be a £50 game. This is definitely priced accordingly. I don't know how long this game is. John said that he's already played 40 hours of it already. This is an overwhelmingly positive game on Steam, and that very rarely happens in an early access game. So I think this is going to go on to bigger and better things. In fact, I'm just going to, on the fly, Valheim, how long to... I texted Alistair yesterday, formerly of Ice Cream Uploads and Jelly Media fame. And he said that he has already been playing about 30 hours into this game. He is obsessed with it, and he 100% said that it's a baby game. It's not actually been registered on how long to beat yet, so that's interesting to beat. But yeah, I mean, for a £16 game, it is blowing people's socks off. This is fantastic. It's nice to see games like this come about, because you always think that games like League of Legends and CS:GO and that are always going to dominate the top of the charts of collective people playing it. And not only is people playing it, they're watching it as well. I don't want to say this is a once in a lifetime game. I think it's just come at the right time. But yeah, it's not been registered on how long to beat yet, so I have no idea how long you get in. 32. Only one person has put something on at 32 hours, which isn't enough to be able to scrape a overall average, obviously. So 32 hours apparently. Mhm. I don't think so. It's a single player game or an online co-op game. So it does have a storyline to it. Um, But yeah, I mean, the barrier of entry is really, really low as well. Like recommended Windows 7 and i5, 3 GHz, 8 GB of RAM. So it's got a really, really low bar for people to get on board with it, which is, again, fantastic thing, because all these AAA games that come out nowadays, you have to play it on the best PCs possible. You have to use all the brand new tech in your PC to be able to have a good experience. And this, you can run it on a Chromebook by the looks of it. So yeah, it's, again, everything's going in its favor. The price, the timing, the accessibility to this game, it's fantastic. It looks like you're muted as well.
Yeah, I've already unmuted and thumbed up to the camera. So what I asked then was, when Bibby was saying hours to complete, I was saying, is it not an open-ended survival-ish sort of game, which is where Bibby was saying that it seems to be single-player and online co-op kind of stuff. But yeah, it looks like a game that's not going to require a lot from your PC to play, which is probably where I'm like, why is it being so successful? It just doesn't look like my kind of thing. It looks, and obviously I always say this kind of stuff with a take it with a pinch when I say it looks a bit shit. When I say that, I mean it's not AAA quality. Let's bring the article back. Scroll back up.
That's what excites me more, though.
I know.
We've seen AAA games go down the swanny far too often.
I mean, the game that I play more than anything, PUBG, started out like that. That looked like absolute trash. Radical Heights looked like dog shit, and it sounded like dog shit.
Whoa! No need to come for the big dog.
I mean, it looked ass, and it sounded ass. Apart from when you jumped out of the plane, like you were running around, literally. I don't even know what you must have had, some sort of like, I don't know, a Subway 6-inch or 12-inch footlong on your feet as you run around. So it's like. But those games were incredible. Radical Heights was. Do you know? I've mentioned it twice now, so it'd be rude if I didn't press. Okay, that's enough Radical Heights theme tune music. There we go. If you're listening to this on demand, then you just shit your pants. I apologise. Yeah, I mean, Radical Heights, PUBG both came from this. I love that idea that this isn't supposed to be. I mean, Crafton slash the PUBG company is massive now. By the way, if anyone wants to see esports done very, very well from like a company committing to their esports, the PUBG Global Invitationals esports stuff has been taking place. It started over the weekend, basically. The set for that is incredible. It started last week, but the set for it is incredible. It's worth having a look if you want to see something that looks cool. Anyway, PUBG's got to that from this low budget, low scale game that wasn't meant to be as big as it is has led to huge things. So I genuinely hope Valheim turns into that sort of thing, because it's having a chat with Mark last night, and he was like, "Where did this come from? Like, has it had a lot of influencer spend and stuff like that?" And I was like, as far as I was aware, it was just picked up by a few people. I would say that PC Gamer haven't done the full thing service. They basically said that content creators weren't really too accountable for the success of this. It's kind of easy enough to say that, but when just yesterday I had a look and you had Dr. Lupo had played it, CDN the Third had played it, Choco Taco had played it, Sacriel had played it. Yeah, they're not Ninja, but these are huge content creators with dedicated communities, and all of those people have played Tarkov before it became massive, have played Rust before it became massive again. So those are the people that tend to make those trends happen. They're almost like, I don't want to say the B tiers because they're massive content creators, but especially like people like Dr. Lupo. But you've got your A tier, then you've got like your sub A tier, the one that people forget. You don't think of Dr. Lupo because you think of Ninja, but you don't realise Dr. Lupo is still huge. Choco Taco is massive, and Sacriel, one of the biggest content creators and influential. What's the word? Early adopters from content creation in not just UK video games content creation, but global content creation. So these guys have done quite a lot in there. But I wouldn't be surprised if the developers of Valheim hadn't just gone, okay, we're absolutely shitting numbers here. Let's put a few quid into some influencer stuff and some content creation and some advertising, because whilst we're making whilst the sun shines, we better make some money because it could be huge. Let's hope they don't fall into the well of being too big too quick, because that's when you see developers that go from doing an exceptional job on a community project, then being asked to do the same exceptional job on a global project, and it doesn't usually scale. Going from micro to macro kind of thing, it's difficult. It's difficult to see that. So hopefully Valheim continues to grow at pace and gets successful and everything scales accordingly. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't just fall into the hole. This
comes into what I mean. I'm going to mention the S word in Skyrim. This stuff, like you can't play Skyrim to play it. It doesn't exist. Window cleaners there. Just nothing about that. You can't see it because
you need to open the window and ask him what his thoughts are on Valheim, and does he feel that it will be Steam's biggest viral hit ever?
He has absolutely no idea. But yeah, it's that reminds me, I need to go and open the back gate in a second. But having Valheim online co-op is fantastic. Like you can't do that on Skyrim. That's one of the most disappointing things of Skyrim. But obviously, at some point we'll be able to do that. There's mods that are coming out where people are managing to be able to play 2-player with each other. So eventually that will come. It may be a paid mod, but a mod nonetheless. But having a game like this that you can play 2-player and go around and kill shit with your mates, co-op games thankfully are making a comeback. And I don't want to say that in the sense of multiplayer games, because multiplayer games usually, for me, they're completely different. Me and you playing Streets of Rage was a phenomenal experience, not only because it was Streets of Rage, but me and you got to play. I hadn't had that experience on Streets of Rage since I was little and I was playing it with my granddad. But me and you playing a co-op game, and that's why I love co-op games, and I like the fact that I feel like they're starting to make a resurgence, as well as the single-player games are starting to become a thing again. Like, we had single-player games for what felt like the longest time, and then they just died because they was all in favour of multiplayer games. But yeah, the co-op games and single player experiences are starting to come back. The story's getting better, and this has a bit of both by the looks of it, for a very, very cheap price and a very small barrier of entry. And I think that's why it's doing so well, if I'm being honest.
Well, if you're interested in Valheim, Bibby will play it on Ice Cream Uploads because you've met Bibby and you see the kind of games he plays. So there you go.
I will genuinely do that. I need to go and open this back. Get it back in a sec.
Sweet. I'll jump into the next bit of news anyway. So, I've put the wrong one on. Nice. Okay, so from one game that is huge right now to a game that was huge 10 years ago but could be having a bit of a resurgence. You may have just seen it, but if you didn't, this is written by Don Peppiatt at VG247. It says it's taken over 10 years, but Halo 3 is getting a brand new multiplayer map. 343 Industries has announced that a new map is coming to Halo 3 via the Halo Master Chief Collection, and it'll be the first new map since 2009's Mythic 2 map pack. In a blog post released on Halo Waypoint on Friday, developer 343 Industries announced that a new map is coming to the game from the cancelled Halo Online project that was developed by Saber Interactive. This is likely the new place, part of the new place and way to play that 343 teased just last week. In case you were unaware, Halo Online was a free-to-play Halo multiplayer release that only ever saw action in Russia in 2015, that was built on a modified version of the Halo 3 engine. Excuse me one second, I need to coffee burp. Yeah, there you go. Get it all here. Anyway, nice. Halo fans have been curious about the game ever since it launched, and repeated attempts enthusiasts have made to get the game online unofficially have been quickly derailed by Microsoft. Eager to add more content to the Master Chief Collection, though, it looks like 343 is finally raiding the Halo archives and bringing some long-lost content to the active compilation game. Some digging by the folks over at Kotaku seems to suggest that the incoming map will be Waterfall, a cancelled Halo Online map that never actually launched in the short-lived F2P title. Curious. You'll need to be a member of the Halo Master Chief Collection's beta flighting program if you want to get a taste of this new map as soon as possible. It looks like it could be added to the beta flighting as soon as February the 18th, so 3 days. As we've already reported, this update will add FOV slider support on Xbox consoles next week too. This isn't the end of the line for the Master Chief Collection either. 343 has asked fans whether they wanted ray tracing support for the Xbox Series X and Series S edition of the Master Chief Collection. Do you guys want ray tracing support? I imagine that's just going to be a yes. Why ask the question? But there you go. So Halo 3 is getting a brand new multiplayer map. We did comment last week that there will be a new place and a new way to play coming to Halo, the Master Chief Collection soon. This could be a new place to play. Would you be interested, Bib, in going back and playing a map on Halo 3?
Absolutely. Again, this is... Halo 3, I don't think is going to be the only one that's going to be getting new maps. I think with the Master Chief Collection being the launcher and the place to go to be able to play all of these games, it makes sense for... Well, I say it doesn't make sense. It would be great if they do go back and like reinvent new maps for it. It may piss off the purists, but the purists surely will want to be able to play new experiences in their favourite games. I know Jordan is a massive... There you go. Halo 2 Master Race. I was just about to say, I know Jordan will be frothing to be able to go and play a new map in potentially Halo 2, but would it also take away from the fact that Halo 2 should just be left as Halo 2 without adding new stuff to it? I don't know. But with the Master Chief Collection getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, I think adding new stuff to it would make sense for them. Whether or not it's going to be paid DLC, I mean, one of the only places that I know that are doing a free battle pass, that blew my mind. And watching Jordan trying to do and get the Mr. Chief helmet for about 40 minutes, doing the same thing over and over again to try and get it, but it's bugged and glitched and he couldn't do it. Adding new things to that and being able to go back and play this game, or play these games, shall we say, in different ways, I think that it just speaks to the Halo elites that have been playing the game since 2001 and always want something else new to happen to it. So I think that this is a fantastic move. I will most certainly be reinstalling it. I mean, I finished Halo ODST on this channel as well as Halo Reach. I'm going to go back and do the other ones at some point. 3 maybe the next one that I install now.
I may have been scratching my head. I have hat sweat. It's fine. I'm getting straight out of the shower. Put the sexy ice cream up hat. Nice. No, I'm joking. That was true. Not joking. Jordan's first reaction though was ugh, Halo 3, and then lots of Craigs in the chat. Pipkilly says, Halo 3 TNT tourney at the weekend was a mess. Best players in the world with server connection boots galore. I'm assuming TNT is Teenage Ninja Turtles. That's what it is, right? Right?
Heroes in a half shell.
Halo 2 Master Race would love new content, but Halo 2 community is asking for a spectator mode so we can do tournaments and leagues. Fair to 343, they get a lot of shit, but MCC has turned itself around. The community is really thriving. It's growing every day, more and more people back to playing Halo. So yeah, I think that's what this says to me. Talking to Jordan and to Bib, and if he was here, Mr. T, I know you guys have a lot of history with Halo. Someone like me, straight over my head, low flying, gone. So it's kind of irrelevant. Is there a new map coming to Halo 3? Well, it could be an old map. Still don't care. You've not caught my attention. But what it is doing, if you below that, is it's the groundwork, it's the foundations. What I am hearing now is, okay, Halo 3 map, not bothered. What Jordan said is what I'm hearing. It's Halo content, doing the right thing, community happy. We've seen the Craig memes in the chat. We've seen the Craig memes over the internet. So last year I'm thinking, well, Halo's a shit show. They don't know what they're doing. I'm not going to... Whatever they do, I'm not going to play this game because it's just Halo for Halo fans done really badly. But now, over that 6 months, it's, oh, actually, we're taking some time. Oh, actually, we're going to bring it back stronger. Oh, actually, everything's getting good. Oh, actually, do you know the stuff that you loved before? We're giving you access to that, but making that better. And we're bringing you stuff that you never had before. And it's that narrative, the Rolling Stone kind of thing, building, snowball effect, that's the word I was looking for. Everything's like, okay, well, Halo now, they seem like they're doing some good shit, so maybe a Halo Infinite might actually be worth the looking, which that's the bit for me. So Halo 3 getting a new map, not bothered. It's the underlying message that 343 are absolutely knocking it out of the park when it comes to delivering and giving more and more back to their community. So that's what it is for me. That's what it is for me. MCC is building hype for Infinite, I think. Yeah, we that's pretty much what we touched on last week, and that's kind of rolls into that snowball effect. So this is all great for the MCC, but this is all exceptional for Infinite. It's absolutely, this is a launcher. We were talking about is Halo Master Chief Collection, could that be a launcher in itself? But the whole thing is a launcher. Aratrax! Hey, welcome back. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome into the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you're good. Nice. If anyone wants to just type ! sub hype in the chat, that would be very nice. Thank you. Nice. Welcome back, Aratrax. Cheers for the tier 1 sub. So yeah, Halo MCC being a launcher, we spoke about that as a legitimate physical launcher, like any other game launcher on your PC, but it's effectively being a launching platform for Infinite itself, which is the bigger thing. Whether they intended that or whether that's just happened, whatever the reason in it is, it's exceptional for Halo Infinite. So good times coming.
It seems very organic, if I'm being honest. But again, I think having the MCC as the main hub to play Halo games, and then once it, like John said, it'll be finished before Infinite, then it'll just be a place to go to play all of these games. It doesn't mean that they're just going to abandon that. They're going to have season passes to make you go back and unlock new cool shit, add new maps to historic games. I mean, that is just fantastic, really, especially as if they're going to start releasing stuff for a Halo game that came out in 2001. Mad. It's mad.
It's good though. It's good in terms of if you want a company to give you shitloads of stuff in their biggest release that's still not here, then a company that's still adding stuff to a game that came out in 2001, surely they're going to put loads of stuff. So it's yeah, reading between the lines, it looks really, really good. It's nice. Aratrax,
Game Pass as well.
Oh, and yeah, Game Pass as well. So you don't even have to spend your £60 sign-on fee to buy the game like you would if it was The Last of Us Part 3 kind of thing for PlayStation. It's just there. You've just got it. It's nice. Yep. Aratrax says, Dandy is a lion, my boy. hey. Other dandelions are available, by the way. Aratrax, I'm not sure if you were in it, but make sure you type ! loot drop because you've just subbed. Just want to make sure that you're in the loot drop. So you might bag yourself a prize on the 1st. That's when the next loot drops. So it's 2 weeks today we will do the next loot drop. Do you know what? We probably need to pick the prize for this.
Yeah.
It is just because February,
Oh, yeah.
short month. So the first Monday of every month we do the loot drop, where we give one prize to one sub. So if you're a sub and you're in the Discord and your accounts are linked and you can see the loot drop channel on Discord, then you could bag yourself a free prize. So yeah, make sure you check it out. John says, good incubator for new Halo players to get involved in the franchise and play multiplayer or single player, then pique their interest for Infinite. Absolutely, that's it. It's wetting the proverbial whistle. A nice, easy way in. Speaking of easy way ins, I mean, one of the easiest way into any form of video game is making it free to play. And as if by magic, the next story focuses on that. Michael Lopez at The Gamer. They're absolutely nailing it now, these gamer guys. Obviously, not featured on the scoop before last week, and now it's like the third or fourth article. GG, boys. Anyway, Warner Brothers appears to be working on a free-to-play game. Job listings at WB Games indicates that the studio is working on a free-to-play game. Checking a video game studio's jobs listings is usually a good way to guess what it's working on. In this case, a job listing at WB Games indicates that the studio is working on a free-to-play game that hasn't been announced yet. A free-to-play game would mean that it will be a multiplayer experience, something that Warner Bros. Games isn't particularly well known for. Gotham Knights and Back 4 Blood might be some of the bigger multiplayer games that Warner Brothers has worked on, but for the most part you expect single-player games like Batman Arkham City and Shadow of Mordor from the studio. However, the free-to-play model has proven to be very successful for other companies, particularly when it comes to advertising. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick went as far as saying that it beat all forms of paid advertising. As such, it's not surprising to see Warner Brothers attempting to cash in on the model. As spotted by GameRant, there are several job listings on Warner Brothers site that mention a free-to-play game. Specifically, Warner Brothers is looking for a game systems designer to design and tune game systems and economies for a new AAA free-to-play cross-platform game. Whew. Warner Brothers appears to be aiming for the fences as well, requiring the candidate to have worked on free-to-play games for a minimum of 3 years, and the product management position also mentions a free-to-play game and will be required to create emergent experience from launch through years of live operations. Whatever the game is, it's looking like it will attempt to compete with the likes of Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone. The company is looking for a combat designer as well, so we can expect that the game will involve a lot of combat. The timing is good for Xbox players in particular, since Microsoft has dropped its Xbox Live subscription requirement to play free-to-play games on the console. Anyway, that's shoehorning other news bits in. But Warner Brothers are recruiting experienced staff on varying levels for a AAA free-to-play game that potentially involves combat. What are your thoughts, Bib?
I hope it's not a battle royale. Is my immediate thought.
Really?
I don't want to say the battle. Yeah, I don't want to say the battle royale ship has sailed because clearly it hasn't. I just hope it's not. I feel like any free to play game that comes out nowadays is just genuinely it's a battle royale with microtransactions or a battle pass in there. Just don't, please. I think the market's just too saturated with it now. And again, it will be the easiest game that they could potentially throw out. But if you're looking for top-tier AAA developers, just don't make it a Battle Royale game, please. I never have high hopes for a free-to-play game anyway. So, I mean, what do I know? I'm probably going to play it. But, yeah, I hope it's not another Battle Royale game. I can't be arsed with another one.
I agree with the sentiment. I don't necessarily agree with the overall message in terms of, obviously I play a lot of Battle Royales anyway, so that's probably a bit of my bias coming through there, but I agree with the sentiment that don't give us another shit rinse and repeat. Yeah, but what we've done is not just rinse and repeat, we've just thrown shitloads of money behind it. It's still rinse and repeat. Give me a new idea. And I think Battle Royale as a genre, we're only scratching the surface. It's the same way that everyone got tired of multiplayer shooters after COD 4 kind of like pushed it front and center again. So I don't agree with the message that Battle Royale can't really give us anything exciting, but I do agree with the message that when people are putting big money in, they tend to not take risks because they want to get big money out, so they tend to follow the path that's already been trodden. They don't step up this. They follow the beaten path. I think Battle Royale has a long way to go to evolve. but just working. Warner Bros. Going, oh well, EA have done it, and Activision have done it, and Epic have done it, so we'll do it. It's the sentiment.
It is an easy way of making money.
Yeah.
It is an easy way of making money to get into the market. Make a battle royale game. By Warner Brothers, you're gonna make money. It's a no-brainer from their standpoint. But as a consumer, I mean, I'm gonna call out Hyperscape now. Has anyone even played that game?
Hyperscape.
It feels like it came. Yeah, it feels like it came off the back of the battle royale boom. And genuinely, I played it for maybe an hour, and then it just. Now you're all right. And then again, this is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Apex Legends has kind of died off a lot now as well. I feel like there's not as much hype as there used to be about that battle royale game. I don't want to say that they're dying. I just think that we definitely need some new ideas, and Warner Brothers going to be the guys that give us new ideas. I hope so. If they're trying to recruit the best of the best when it comes to AAA games, I would like to think so. Is that going to be a reality? I genuinely don't know. I suppose we're going to have to wait and see when it comes to stuff like that, but. Just hope it's not another battle royale game. It's circles closing in. You've got some weapons. Is it going to be a melee version so that you have to engage?
It's completely different. Actually, it's not a circle. It's a square. And actually, what I mean is, it's not a square. It's the map has been split into grids, and different grids are going off. So it's the map shrinking. Yeah. So it's basically a circle. Yeah, well, it's not shaped like a circle, is it? So it's very different. Okay, yeah. Okay, we don't have an M4 though. We have a long-range assault rifle. Great. So it's basically an M4. But we also have.
Are they going to bring back Gotham City Imposters? I've just thought of that. Did they do that?
I don't know. I don't know what Gotham City Imposters is.
I'm gonna have to go back. He said that it was a combat game, though, so I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna have to check that now.
While you're looking into that, Enix says if it's a battle royale, it's DOA. Good morning to Mr. Chaos Riot Zero, by the way. Shout out to the hashtag Coin Army. Feel free to go check out Chaos Riot Zero. Although when you stream your additional content, do you do that on your channel or is that Aurora's channel? But anyway, go check out Chris. Anyway, he says, I'm playing Genshin Impact, which is free to play. It's a really good single player. I don't get why it's free. I mean, that's it. We just jumped down to the discussion avenue of Battle Royale. I think that discussion of Battle Royale can be extrapolated, though. There is a lot of... rinse and repeat. There is a lot of safe playing, which is understandable. It's business. Nobody wants to gamble with money in business. I mean, fair enough, gamble if you're just throwing your money away, but in business, you tend to make the surefire bets. So it's understandable why we've jumped in the battle royale genre, but it could be said of any area of free-to-play. There's been a lot of shit in the free-to-play industry. It's also exceptional. I genuinely feel like the future is free-to-play. And I believe, like I've said all along, I don't want to spend my money. I hate the idea of microtransactions because I'm spending my money. But I love the idea of paying for something and getting something back. I love the idea that I can play a game for free. And if I do enjoy this game, I can then choose to invest in accordance with my time. It's basically free-to-play should be like a slightly different version of a subscription service. Netflix, you pay for every month and you get use out of it. Whereas you may play Gotham Knights. Let's say it was that. It's not. It's just the words are on my screen. Let's say that's the free-to-play game. We start playing that and we might stop playing it for a couple of months or whatever. But you don't want to keep paying your £10 a month subscription for Gotham Knights because you're not playing it for 2 months. I think that's where like season passes sort of stuff, you're paying subscriptions but not subscriptions. I love the idea, and I definitely think the future is within there. But when people are developing games that need ongoing content, that make them free to play and it changes the style of game, and they could deliver you a powerful, impactful story, but then they go, actually, that powerful, impactful story is wonderful. It's a 10 out of 10 story, but it's not really going to get the monetary value back. So let's stretch the story out. Let's split it into 3 parts. We'll water it all down, but we get 3 times the content. Ta-da! So, yeah, that's the downside of free-to-play. It's wonderful in terms of allowing people to get in, creating new experiences and new industries, but it's also exploited by businesses looking for profits, which is a shame. Luke says it.
I mean, what's the threshold to make it? If a free to play is the way forward for every single game, what's the incentive to try and make their money back from you though? Is it battle passes?
I mean, it could be battle passes, it could be skins, it could be the dreaded loot boxes sort of setup. I mean, there's different ways that it could be done. Usually, it's a mixture of some with less of a focus on loot boxes at present, naturally, because it's fucking gambling. I don't care what you say, it's gambling. So, for me, content, paying for content. If you make good content in your game, people will pay for it. It's as simple as that. If you make shit content and you're just churning out money spinners like loot boxes, then it's just an empty well where you're just kind of relying on almost addiction level stuff. So put good content in a game, be it season passes that give you skins, that give you, even if the content in it is just a season pass and you play the game. That's what I do on PUBG. I pay for my season pass and I play the game, and I get some skins that more often than not I don't use. But it's the challenge of, okay, you've given me a time frame, you've given me a deadline, you've given me 100 levels that I have to work my way through, you've given me missions to do every day and week, and it's adding extra bits of content. Yeah, that's a bit rinse and repeat, but yeah, content, that as a minimum, and then progressing forward to better content, that's where the future is. Sorry, there was a comment from Luke saying, Apex isn't dead at all. I played 369 hours last year and it's always got new stuff going on. Which Chaos Riot Zero says, we play a lot of Apex on the stream, it's the only BR I play anymore. See, I've seen mixed stuff. I definitely don't think Apex is dead. I think it's just like PUBG's not dead. It's still huge, but it's not the runaway success that everyone's playing right now. I have seen more recently issues with cheating on PC in Apex. So people playing Apex and people just running and spawning shit. Do you know what I mean? You kill someone and they drop all their crates and it'd be like a legendary shield or whatever it is. I can't remember what items you drop anymore. But yeah, basically someone just running along and just spaffing out like full things. Boom, boom. So someone's like found out a hack to just make him be able to spawn stuff. So him and the rest of his team are all running around fully legend out. So I've seen some issues with that, but that's just any game, I suppose, at the moment. Apex is
that game first like had its boom. Like we was in the office and it was like, there's a game that another battle royale has just come out and it's going to take the world by storm, and it was literally on top for what felt like months.
Yeah, like
and then
6-9 months.
That's why I was. Yeah, that's why I was comparing it to say, is anyone still playing it as much anymore? Because I genuinely don't see it on my timeline half as much as I used to do. Literally, it used to be the one thing I could guarantee I could see on my timeline every single day, and I just don't see it that often anymore.
I think
apart from these people that I know that I've been following for a long time, that it was their main game and they're still playing it now. But apart from that, it just doesn't feel as popular.
I think it's just a case of it's old news. It's not new news, so it's old news. And since that came out, we've had Warzone launch, which obviously same sort of genre, very sort of fast-paced, 3-player fire teams, or one or squads or whatever. So Warzone has taken some of the attention off of that, and then Warzone's had a relaunch again with Black Ops Cold War. So I think it's still firing away and it's still doing its thing very, very well. But their issue is that it's not tied to an annual release that puts it front and center again. So it's still doing its thing, but it's not commanding column inches because of that. So yeah, it's marketing essentially. Aratrack says just start
2.0. It sounds like. They need a 2.0 by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Audio's a little bit delayed, so I didn't catch that bit for you first time. Jumping back, Aratrack says, just start playing Valheim, really enjoying it. Can't get over that it's just a 558 meg download for the size of the map and the content. I mean, that's possibly part of the reason why it's smashing it as well, because in a world where everyone expects to download 100 gig updates for Warzone, if you can just download 558 meg and get the full game back, then yeah, there's that. That's good. Apex is mega popular still, and it seems it's growing. All my friends list on Xbox just play Apex, not even Warzone anymore. Luke's saying it's a low-res circle. Yeah, it's not a circle anymore. It's a low-res circle. Morning, lads. I'm so late this morning. Me, not you. Honestly, what time do you call this? Ish.
Disgrace.
Aurora does the streaming. I just guessed on there. You just guessed. We all turn up for you. What you want about just guess? Damn, Gary Clark joke causes angry now. What do you mean? Garlic Clark joke causes angry. What is that in terms of he's just turned up? I don't get it. I'm really bored of seeing season passes and everything. They basically make you play every day to get the value out of it. Yeah, I mean that's it though. I mean I enjoy that. I do play it every day, and I am choosing to play PUBG over the likes of the many games that I've got because I enjoy that. It's obviously not the same for everyone, and it shouldn't be the same for every game, which is I think where the whole BR angle of this conversation came from. Oh, not another BR, because BRs are great. But the season pass element that's been stuck on them is play every day, play every week, keep going for 90 days, and then what happens at the end of 90 days? We give you another 90 days, and you start again, and you keep going, and it can get tedious, and that's the issue with free to play. I mean, it does, but it can get tedious in terms of if that's all it is forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You need variety, you need differences. So that's why we're hoping if Warner Brothers are working on free-to-play games, they give us something different. Don't die.
You can't even get map rotations in PUBG.
I think you'll find that I got Erangel twice in 23 games. So there you go. And the worst thing is like that only counts 23 games that I played in. So Erangel is PUBG's first ever map. It's the best one. They have a bunch of other maps, which I don't mind in moderation. If I have them back to back, the shit. It's really frustrating. It's not what I play the game for. Anyway, so I got Erangel twice in 23 games. I angry tweeted about it, and then no word of a lie, got Erangel 3 times in a row. I was like, what the fuck? So the moral of the story is piss and moan like a bitch on social media. It was a good noise. Your choice if you want to spend on that. If you play it every day, it's worth it. If not, you're forced into it. Just there to get rewards. Players who come back over and over and over again. I get that. It's just
it's 2 of one, half a dozen of the other. Like that's what the stuff that the comment that I made before about you. What entices you to move into a monetary value season pass? Like if it's a free-to-play game, what is going to entice you to want to be able to stay into that game? Is it the fact that if you buy a season pass you get extra dailies, you get more XP, there's more things to be able to try and unlock, so you might unlock something every level rather than every other level or every 4th level? Like there needs to be a reason why these games are free to play, and then what comes with the battle pass. Otherwise you'll just be playing the game. There'll always be a ticking point. Like for mine it was Fortnite. There'll always be a ticking point where I got to like level 20 and then I thought, do you know what, I'm actually really enjoying this game. It's definitely worth the £7 for the battle pass for this month or for the 2 months, however long it runs for. I will tick off all these extra challenges and I'll be able to get all of these new costumes and cosmetic and skins and stuff like that. There'll always be a tipping point. I will never ever buy a season pass on before I even play a game on it, or the very first 5 games of a battle royale game. It'll have to try and take my attention. If I'm 10 hours into a game and I'm enjoying it, it's probably worth my money then, because I would have got 10 hours out of a game that I should have got for free, and it's definitely worth it then.
Yeah, I agree. I think that element of needing to play to get to the next mission to unlock the stuff. I mean, Chris does have a good point there, saying when you play 4 or 5 different games and they all have season passes, it's hard to keep up, and that is where the issue of it comes from. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're getting the hours out of it, then expense is relative, but it still is expensive. If it's £10 each, and you've got 4 games on the go, that's £40. There you go. But if you're playing it full time, is it? Yeah. But the issue is when you start getting them all doing the same thing. Like I can pick up PUBG and I can do my dailies in 20 minutes, or I could do my dailies in 3 hours. It depends what the daily missions are and so on. And if all games are starting to do that, then it all becomes a bit monotonous, and then that's when you start using my specific example that I gave a minute ago, PUBG. When I'm getting crap maps, I'm not really enjoying it. Then it becomes a grind, and that's where the season pass element of it is pants. And it's a case of, okay, I should be playing because I'm striving to better myself, to get a better content, not just because I need to tick these missions off so that I can just get past them. And that's sometimes I mean, even PUBG, a game that I absolutely adore, I have those days where it's just like, oh, fuck it, I just need to get this done so I can turn it off.
I can't believe there isn't like a map ticking thing on that game yet. It blows my mind. Anything more than 3 maps, 3 or more maps should always have the tick boxes about the ones that you want to play.
I think the issue there for me, I don't know. My understanding is it's pride. The devs have put a lot of time and effort into making some maps, and they just don't want to get rid of them. And I believe it's dev-led rather than community-led, which is bad. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Whereas what I think should happen is Erangel should always be there, and then they should have 2 other maps, and then the other 2 they just bin. And then next month or next season, they bring one back. They vault things. Like other successful games realise that too much stuff just waters it down. Have it on a vault, bring it back out, make it supply and demand. Suddenly, Vikendi, the snow map, which can be good, is now tedious as fuck. Get rid of it and bring it back in a month's time. I'm like, oh, I've not played this for ages. I'm looking forward to playing it again. Nice. And then when it's offline, you can add stuff to it and change it. But anyway, what do I know? Anyway, that's enough waffling.
How often do they bring out maps?
Fairly often at the moment. They've been working on small maps. The ideas that they've been saying now. So there was a map called Paramo, which was like a volcano map, and then there's a map called Haven now. And the cool within themselves, shit, because they put them behind squads. So if you want to go in and play solos or duos, you have to play in squads, which just defeats the point. But the idea of playing these maps is because they want to build a massive map this year or next year. So they've been testing things in this, like environmental stuff, NPCs and putting those sort of elements into the game. But nobody that plays PUBG or originally played PUBG wants small maps. They want big maps. They want that whole strategy and stuff. Whereas the stuff that they've been testing, because of the nature of the small focused tests, the community have been kind of like, well, this just feels like you're forcing us to try and play Warzone super fast shit. It's not what I signed up for. So there's been a lot of hatred.
A corridor shooter.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what they were. There's been a lot of hatred towards the maps, let alone the horrendous map selection options that there is at the moment. But hopefully that gives us a bigger, better map going forward. Anyway, I'll talk about that another time because, I could talk about PUBG for days. If you do want to see me talk about PUBG, then feel free to drop a follow on the channel right now because I do play PUBG. I won't be playing PUBG this week, though, because for those that don't know, I'm actually not here. You can't see me. I'm off this week. So I won't be on any additional streams beyond the scoop unless something happens and I think, fuck it, let's just play some games. I might do. But yeah, chances are probably not. So yeah, I won't be back later on. Will you be back later on, babe? This afternoon?
Yes, I'm going to do a few test streams actually because I want to see. I think I figured out how to play Fee Golf and stream it at the same time. So I'm going to try and work that one out. I have no idea how it's going to look. So I need to move everything outside into the back garden, not my PC. I mean, just like my light, my phone, my tripod, and all of that stuff. I'm going to see what it's like. If it's shit, then we'll forget about it today and we'll do something tomorrow. No, Wednesday.
If you don't know what Fee Golf is, well, here you go. Feast your eyes on this. There you go. There's Bibby on the weekend. Hope. He's lining it up. And then poof! And then in true...
Oh, it showed me swing.
Yeah, and then true Bibby style. Wait for it. Hey. So there you go. Tweeted from @We've Got the Vino on Twitter. There you go. So that's what he's going to try play it for you live on stream. I don't think anyone's ever played Fee Golf on stream before. They may have. I have not actually researched that whatsoever. I'm just trying to make it sound bigger than it is.
I have.
So
Nobody has.
Nice. So there you go. So maybe some Fee Golf. If not, as Pip Kelly says, maybe Resident Evil 2. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Before, though, we disappear and start bringing back potential Fee Golf streams or whatever, is there anything else, Bib, that you would like to add?
Yes. Again, thank you very much for each and every one of you that have joined today, that have subbed, that have followed, that have got involved with the chat. This show is as much as yours as it is ours, so thank you very much for doing that. But if you do want to be involved in the show at a higher level, then there's 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social medias at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. Second way, get into our Discord. There's an area in there called The Scoop. All we need from you is the URL, plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be on what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m.
Ish.
10 a.m. ish. Just a reminder that we don't do this full time. We do this on the side. So we go live at 10 a.m. ish when the other bits are out of the way. But that is why Aratrax, Vern, Chappers, you guys dropping your subs today, it means a lot because every sub does help literally keep the lights on for the stuff that we're doing in the stream, because it just allows us the time to take our eyes off other things and put them on this. So we appreciate the support. Everyone that's been in the chat, everyone that's been lurking, it means a lot to have you all supporting. Obviously, couldn't do it without you guys. Iceman, couldn't do it without you. Type in exclamation mark socials and Discord in the chat. What a guy. What a guy. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. For now, though, we are going to disappear. As mentioned, I won't be back. Bibby will be back testing things. So if you want to see stuff behind the scenes, that's nice. Oh, actually, before we go, I did mute myself earlier on and forgot to unmute it, but that won't happen when I use the new Wave 3 mic from exclamation mark Elgato in the chat. Woo! Yeah, shout out to Elgato. They have provided us with goodies. As mentioned last week, we have goodies and we will do unboxing stuff and show you what we have before we put them into our setups. But that's not yet. So if you want to see that stuff, then feel free to keep it coming back. We will post on social media when we do that. But exclamation mark Elgato, which Iceman has just typed in again. What a guy. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the lovely people at Elgato for providing us with the goodies. Until then, though, we are going to disappear. Have yourselves a fantastic day. And, well, at least from me, I'm not going to see you again. You'll see Bibby this afternoon. So until then, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.